What's up, guys? Welcome to the newly named Maxed Out Stats channel. This year, I got 12 friends to recommend 12 games to play, and for February, the one and only Nurakuma recommended me Tunic. This challenge has been funny so far because last month we had what will very likely be the winner, and this month we have something that was not as it seemed. Now, Tunic is the brainchild of a certain Andrew Shoudis? I'm not really sure how to say that. And he was influenced by games like NES Zelda, and he spent 7 years making this. So, really hope you aren't watching this, Andrew. Okay, first off, this game is just really pleasant to look at. Like everything from an artistic perspective, the character design, the world, it's all a treat, you know? And you get a lot of pretty like cinematic moments to keep you locked into what you're experiencing. And the way the soundtrack sort of like blends with the world and the aesthetic, it's all very pleasant in that regard. And you know, sometimes it just takes you places. The design of certain areas is very well done. You know, it's kind of like how in Dark Souls you have to find a shortcut that loops back to the previous area, and that's like a big thing. But Tunic really takes a lot of Dark Souls, and one of those things is that concept, you know? Done in a very clever way, because in most cases you don't unlock the shortcuts. They're just always there. The game will naturally have you come out of these by progressing, but they were always accessible. And I really like that idea, you know? It makes map traversal and especially like a new game really interesting. You can route yourself completely differently. I also like that if you use a lot of consumables, you can actually get some permanent ones that'll spawn in your inventory after death or after you take a rest. One of the main mechanics in Tunic is bringing up the little digital manual where you find pages of it throughout the game. And it was pretty cool finding a page, then trying to figure out what that page was trying to tell you, as the language it's in is completely fictional. So you gotta like look at the images and look at clues and all that. When I found out how to pray to activate things or fast travel or level up, it was legitimately like very rewarding doing all that. However, a lot of the pages are pretty secret, which I understand, but it made me a little obsessive, constantly worried that I was missing something crucial. Now we can go into why Tunic didn't really click with me, despite being so damn creative. First of all, I don't really find combat to be that fun. Apparently I missed some items like the gun. That might have been interesting, but generally even using a lot of items to interact with it, I just can't say that a lot of the encounters were very interesting, and others boiled right into groan-worthy when I noticed them. The bosses in this game start out pretty fine, but then I hit the librarian, and he just really got under my skin. Not helped by the glitch where you hookshot him and just fly right off the boss arena and die instantly. Fun. Also, the big thing about this game is the puzzle-solving aspect. And it has its moments, but none of the really, none of the dungeons, they never really hit like classic Zelda dungeons do. And I found myself wanting to just get through them quickly rather than enjoying them. The end game is especially where I started to get sore. Spoiler alert, kinda, I guess. You good? Okay. So eventually, you die. Like in the story, you lose all your stats, you go back to level 1, and you have to trek to a dungeon to unlock an ability that'll get you your stats back. This is fine at first, and it's kind of an interesting challenge, but then it throws a straight-up enemy gauntlet at you. This thing pissed me off to no end. You gotta fight some of the strongest enemies in the game, and even previous bosses with level 1 stats. That took me a while, to say the least, but eventually I found some decent cheese, and, you know, I got through it. And then you have to run around the entire map, collect all your already acquired stats again, Then, fully restored, you can go to the final boss and get your ass kicked. This is the only two-phase fight in the game, and I really felt that. I honestly don't know if the combat system was even designed for an encounter like this. Any deaths rarely felt like, oh, I fucked up. And more like, oh, this guy's using an annoying moveset this run. Or, oh, I got through phase 1 hitless because he just stood still and let me beat his ass for some reason. But then he just went sicko mode in phase 2 and got me. I was on this for, I want to say, a good 2 hours before I got a good run that led me to my victory. And then after all that, I got the message. Game over, missing 7 pages, return to seek another path. And I was just immediately over it. I looked into it, and maybe if it was just the pages, I could have, like, buckled down and got the true ending, but you also have to do all this obscure shit to get a secret set of collectibles called fairies, and yeah, I just called it there. I did look up the true ending, and it lets you skip the shitty final boss, so neat. I began to wonder where this indie gem went wrong for me, and as I was rewatching the credits, it all came together. I saw him in the credits. It all made sense now. He caused this. The Dark One. Anyways, next up we got a stealth action game that defined a generation. See you then.